I would say cannabis is really tough, especially starting in the beginning when there's a lot of the policy, there was a lot of the laws being formed and regulations. There's so many ups and downs, continue to this day, this very week, ups and downs. Having your family to lean on, at least in our case, I think has been the best. In some ways, knowing that you can't stop because your family is on your back has been the motivation through some of the toughest times for me. To say, there is no, I'll just go get a job. This is not just me. This is us. And that has made the hard times sometimes feel harder, but also you get through them and you look back and you're like, okay, on to the next.
Right, we did it.
You did it. Yeah. There'll be another one, though.
Oh, yeah, there's constant fires nonstop in cannabis. We're also kind of like the living spirit of that here. So when it comes to the family side of this, I always think to myself, because people always say like, oh, don't start a company with like one of your friends because you're going to lose that friend kind of thing. But you've been able to make this successful, and actually it's helped you said.
We feel so. I do always joke that, we're not at the end, and you hope that nothing negative would ever happen, and you hope that those bonds that you form, but you hear that every day, right? Don't go into business with your best friend. Right. Don't borrow money from your family.
Right.
Yikes. Well, we're breaking some rules here. But hopefully it works because there are those success stories. There are family-owned and operated businesses that are generations and upon generations. So we know it can work. I think what it comes down to maybe is how you separate those moments between business and personal life.
You have to make a clear cut, I would imagine, because it's so easy. Hey, let's go out to dinner, and then all you talk about is business, right?
Yes. And there are moments when, one of us has to talk the other back, but you do have to set boundaries.
Right.
Because I think it's by nature, it totally engulfs your life when you start a business. Or in some ways, I feel like it should, because you are starting a business. It is a really big deal. It takes a lot of work. I think sometimes a lot of people want to sugarcoat it and say, work-life balance. Yes, it should exist, but for the founder in the beginning, I don't know how that's possible because it's so hard to start a business. If you don't give it your all, I don't know how you would get started. Not to say it should take your all forever. You should be away from your family forever. But in the beginning, I think it's impossible to avoid that always on. But as we are building and growing, we are finding that we're able to separate, have moments. And heck, we even took a vacation, which was crazy. So that was awesome.
The two co-founders were out. But everything survived. Everything worked. We got back. Everything was there still. Right?
Our
Nothing
team
burned
is
down.
amazing. Yeah. No, and they are so great. They assured, obviously the jitters about to leave. Well, should we go? And our team is just that we got it. And of course, and it's not that I doubted, but it's just putting it all on them, right? It is letting go. It's saying, okay, goodbye. Mom and dad are going out for the night, or in this case, a couple days.
Yeah. And so, like, do you guys both have the same role, or is it just like you focus more on the finance or the marketing and he focuses more on operations and the whatever?
Those are kind of the lines we draw, but they're very blurred. I would say I don't step into operations. That's his territory. On like accounting, all that, that's my territory. Where we see a lot of us collaborating and working together is on when it comes to branding and product development stuff for the business, because that is both of us. We are building this together. We both have ideas and input, but even those conversations are generally bigger team ones anyway. So it just so happens that both of us get involved in those conversations.
Right, because it's more, and because there's some operational aspects to it as well that needs to be addressed.
Of course.